What's up, everybody? I'm Cody from AlphaBot Society, and as of today, it marks 3 weeks since we've dropped the project. So with that being the case, we felt like we should put together a video kind of going over things that we've accomplished up to this point, probably re-explaining the whole community-driven choose your own adventure for the people that may be new here or have questions about it. I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming airdrop that'll be happening for AlphaBot holders, and then just talk about the future of AlphaBots and what that entails. So let's get right into it. So I wanted to start by talking about a few accomplishments that we've been able to reach in these 3 short weeks. So in that time, we've been able to do $4.6 million in sales, which is amazing. And thank you so much to everybody who's gotten involved in the project, whether it was from you were in the queue and from the day of drop, or you came in on the secondary market. Either way, we're happy to have you here, and thank you so much for making that happen. Along with that, we've been able to donate to 2 different charities, donating $24,000 in total. So we want to thank you guys for that as well, because you were a part of that donation. And we were able to give some funds to the Environmental Defense Fund, as well as the Ballard House. And you can read more about those causes on our Twitter if you go back a little bit and kind of see where we donated that money to. Along with that, we were able to partner with a developer who's helping us build out not only the sales bot, where on Twitter it'll repost and let people know what the sales are like within AlphaBot Society and who's bought what when, but also he's going to be helping us with the gamification side within these competitions and contests that are going to be happening after the chapter drop. So we've officially brought on that developer as a part of our team, and he's making me and Travis's lives a lot easier. So we're really appreciative of him. As we gear up for the Chapter 1 drop, we've also done this AlphaBot backstory contest where we wanted to hear from you guys of who is your AlphaBot? What are its interests? What is it doing within AlphaBot Society? And along with that, we were picking a first place, second place, and third place winners who will win not only some cash prizes, an AlphaBot, but also a custom scene made and inspired by your backstory that Travis is going to make for you, and we'll mint it as a one-of-one NFT. So that'll be pretty cool to see your AlphaBot come to life. Along with that, those are some bird's eye viewpoints, some big milestones, but along the way, we've been able to onboard a few new moderators from the community that have been awesome. The community has grown, and our Discord now has about 6,500 people in it. Our Twitter is coming up on 8,000 followers, so we just continue to grow slowly but surely, and it's all thanks to you guys, so thank you so much. So what is a community-driven choose your own adventure? So a main part of our utility is we're going to be pushing out this storyline or this lore in the form of chapters every 4 weeks. And when we push out a chapter, it's going to push the story along a little bit further. And at the end of those chapters, you as the community will have a decision or group of decisions to decide upon that will then influence how the story progresses. And these decisions could be at a faction level. It could just be at an individual level of, what do you guys decide? And that will then influence where we take the story. So it'll be important to communicate with not only your faction members, but also the community as a whole, because it's a group, it's a community-driven choose your own adventure. It's not an individual choose your own adventure. The decision affects the whole. So it's important to be involved in the community and chat with everybody and see if you can make the right decision for all, or for you, if that's how you'd like to play it. So when these decisions are made, there will be a 1-week period from the time that we drop the chapter and the decision is open for people to make, and people will make that decision on Discord. You will be, if you're an AlphaBot holder, you will have a verified role, and there will be a message within that chat channel to then respond to it and put in your vote for the decision that you make. And based on those decisions, that's going to trigger airdrops, competitions, and giveaways, and things like that to be in between the chapters. So from the time you make the decision, that will then trigger this airdrop or this competition to take place. or it could reward specific factions or groups of people based on the decision that they made. You can think of these competitions, airdrops, or giveaways as like mini games or side quests to the main storyline, because the storyline will be progressed by your decisions, but in between those chapters we will have things to entertain the community and give people a chance to get more involved with the community as well and earn other prizes and things like that. So with that being the case, we actually have our first chapter entitled The Anomaly dropping next week on Monday, March 21st. So let's get into that a little bit. So in this first chapter, we're going to be setting the scene and kind of introducing you guys to the main characters and get you used to how this whole decision making and competitions and airdrops kind of all come into play with this rhythm of chapter dropping, things being triggered, voting happening, and then we get to the next chapter. So this first chapter is going to be a learning curve for everybody, but we're going to make it as simple as possible and just, get everything going. And again, this voting will take place in the Discord by verified AlphaBot holders. In honor of this being our first chapter drop, the airdrop that's going to be triggered from this is actually going to everybody. So if you own an AlphaBot, you will be partaking in this airdrop. So let's break that down a little bit. So this first airdrop will be 10,000 unique weapons. Travis has been hard at work making a variety of weapons, all with their own unique attributes. And this itself will be another unique 10K drop. But also, since it is 10,000 and there are 10,000 AlphaBots, that means that for each AlphaBot that you own, you will receive a weapon. These weapons will have their own rarity table so that you can see not only the stats of those weapons, but which ones are the most rare, whether it's because of the components that they're made up of or their strength and power. But they will be 10,000 unique weapons for 10,000 unique AlphaBots. We will have more on when this drop is happening, how these weapons will be used, and teasers of these actual weapons over the coming weeks. But first, we need to get to chapter 1. So now that you've gotten a refresher on, what is this community-driven choose your own adventure, what is the airdrop that's happening, I kind of want to give you guys a little behind the scenes of what are we working on over here at AlphaBots and what are we gearing up for and planning for. So behind the scenes, we are working a lot with trying to find partnerships and marketing opportunities to help spread the word of the project. We've had quite a few calls and meetings with some potential candidates. Nothing we can say directly right now, but we are working at that. Aside from the artwork and the airdrops and the chapters and the lore and everything, there's a lot of marketing and promotion going on behind the scenes too. And with us being a curated drop from CDC, and getting to leverage their team as well, they've been a great help in connecting us with some amazing people that we are working some things out with and can't wait to share with you. Along with marketing and partnerships, we're also looking at collaborations. This could be with other projects within CDC, this could be just with other projects in general, this could be even brand collaborations. We are behind the scenes, hard at work, trying to find people that align with us and or aligning with the greater purpose of being within the NFT space, the Web3 space, the decentralized space. We're looking for collaboration opportunities to help further the brand and let other niches of people hear more about AlphaBots. Now that we've got the developer on staff as well, we're also planning ahead for further gamification, because what we come out with at first is not the end all be all. It's just the first step, and we've got kind of expansions of that we are planning behind the scenes. So we're working alongside our developer to really map out what those things could be, how do we bring them to life, and then also what is it in its first iteration, and then how does it look when we actually develop it into the website and make it more of a Web3 experience. We're also working on merch. We know that's a big thing because we know that people want to rep their factions, whether it be on a t-shirt, a hoodie, a hat, or anything like that, a pin. That's going on behind the scenes as well. We're gearing up where we can get these things manufactured, creating designs, and getting the store in place. So keep an eye out for that. Lastly, but surely not least, is developing more of these future chapters and airdrops. So there's only so far that we can plan with the chapters because obviously you guys will be influencing what happens. But we can plan ahead of what could be exciting airdrops when we hit specific points within the story. And there's a lot of behind the scenes planning and mapping and preparing for in those circumstances, and also just seeing what we can align with from the partnership standpoint to maybe align with those chapter drops. So there's a lot of forward thinking there as it pertains to the lore and competitions, airdrops, giveaways, and all things like that. Lastly, I just want to talk about the future a little bit. Not necessarily what's happening in a few months, but what could happen a year from now, 2 years from now. How can this continue to grow from where it is right now? And we've been saying this from the beginning, that we feel that AlphaBots has a lot of legs. There's a lot of things that we can do here that can continue to provide value to not only you, but to the project as a whole. Some of those things being VR experiences and furthering into the Web3 technology and bringing more gamification to our site so that you can actually interface with your AlphaBots and your weapons and other future items and things like that within the site, and play the gamification through there, not so much within Discord. So we definitely want to expand that aspect of it. We're also looking into and planning more for further gamification, not so much what it is right now and what we're planning for, but we want to keep that door open for a lot of different gamification opportunities in the future. So we're keeping our eyes and ears open for things like that and seeing what the future holds. We also really want to look into IRL events, getting together with you guys in person and having holder-specific meetups or things like that. Any sort of IRL event is definitely in the future for us. We just got to kind of get past what's going on with the COVID situation, let the world come back to what it was, and we definitely will be on top of that and coming to see as many of you guys as we possibly can. Another aspect of this is physical collectibles. We've had a lot of people mention, these would make great figurines, and Travis has already teased what it would look like if we had an AlphaBot toy in a packaging and things like that. That's definitely something we're interested in. It just needs to make sense for the time, and that could make a great giveaway or something like that. So physical things, and we're already doing that with the physical banners. We're getting these NFT banners made into actual physical embroidered banners. So that's kind of the first step of that, but we would love to explore that a little bit more and see what we could bring to you guys. So I hope that gives you guys a good overview of what is AlphaBot Society, what has happened since we've dropped, what's going to be happening next week and in the upcoming weeks, and also where our head is at going forward and into the future. So we've got a lot planned over here. There's only so much we can say right now, and I'm just now announced that you guys are going to be getting weapons as airdrops, so that's huge. And again, there will be more on that in the coming weeks as far as how that's used within the gamification and the actual drop date. But know that it's coming, and it's coming very soon as the first airdrop for Chapter 1 release, the Anomaly, coming next week. I hope you guys enjoy.